that, it sounds like it's a bunch of fun, and I can promise you it is a bunch of fun. Welcome, Mazda here. I hope you're having a splendid day today. As you can see, we are at a track day and we are at the Gelleråsen racetrack then. So this is, I think it might be one of the oldest, or if not the oldest racetrack here in Sweden, and it's a bit technical track, so it suits the MX5 just nice. We have been here once previously with regards to having uploads, so this is the second upload I'm doing from this track, but I think it's 2 years or so later. So I've done a couple or three events here prior to today's event then, and I have learned the track, so it has been a bunch of fun. And as you can see, we have the 30th anniversary MX5 here, and it has been treating me really well. The only thing that's holding me back is myself. So let's briefly talk about what we have done to the car. So we have since a couple of days Yokomhama A052s on it. So we have 215/45 profile 17-inch tires. Then these are truly great tires. It is the first event I'm doing with these, and I have not done any sessions prior to that, only just some street driving, but the grip in these are immense. However, if you do overdrive them, they do tend to get hot, so I do 3-4 laps with a higher pace then, and then we have some cool off laps, and then we can get on it again. I don't think I really need to do that, but I can feel that the grip tends to get a little bit worse once they have become a little bit too hot. But one benefit with having a light car is that we don't like overheat these type of tires unless you go totally crazy with regards to how much wheel slip and so on you have, especially on the back. And the grip when braking is truly immense. It's difficult to explain. You brake, you turn in, and they brake and turn in as you command, more or less. And the rear end, we can easily get it to come around with a little bit of a trail braking. If you do trail brake a little bit too much or get into hot, these type of cars are quite light in the rear, so you need to be a little bit careful with that. And also, as you may or may not know, then we are running Mazda club race coilovers, and I'm running almost the stiffest. I think it's 3 clicks or so from the stiffest in the front, and 5 clicks from the stiffest in the rear, and I found that to be working great. But what we don't have is any aftermarket sway bars, either in the front or in the back, so that is the next thing I will have to do. I do think a stiffer sway bar in the front will help with the setup, and mainly with these tires. That's at least what I feel, because as again then when I run the car in a more stiffer setting, it seems to, these tires seems to like it a little bit more. So we have been, we have been doing some sessions now, and it has been going well. I actually managed to, we shouldn't talk about track times or lap times, but I did to manage improve my personal best here on this track. But that is with traction control on. I know, sissy girl, but I'm still trying to learn, and I don't want to overshoot anything and I don't know, damage the car and whatnot. But I've been running some sessions without the TC, and I'm feeling I am a little bit too careful, because it's around 2 seconds a difference in lap times, and I don't think the TC actually helps that much. It's more mainly here in my head, but we'll see if we can improve our lap times without having the traction control on. And also having the traction control on, it also makes it a little bit harder for the brakes, because then you have your ABS or your brakes kicking in a little bit here and there, and that tends to heat up the brakes quicker than if you would just be braking by yourself then. So that is that. And what I was thinking we'll do is we'll have some laps around the track, and we'll enjoy the day, and once we are home we will wrap it up. but it's actually the day after because I came home late and I had to wash the car and dinner and kids and family, so you get the drill. But I just wanted to elaborate a little bit with regards to the discussion I had earlier with traction control on and off. And as I mentioned, then I was I think, yeah, when I looked back now, it's actually 1.5 seconds slower, not 2 as I mentioned before. I don't suck that much, but obviously then it is with regards to confidence in myself up here and also the confidence for the car. But obviously the car has more in it than I can give, but still I don't feel I know how to or how I will react in all situations. If the rear end just lets go with the counter steering and so on and so forth. I mean, I'm a novice track driver and I wasn't one of those who had a shit box when I was 18 and doing burnouts and skidding around town with some Volvo 244 or something. So I mean, I'm learning as I'm going. And also one major factor to this is with regards to safety. I don't have a roll bar in my car, and if God forbid something happens and the car rolls over while you're at the track, the A pillar will collapse without having any speed, more or less. And the OEM roll bars, I'm not even sure how much they can withstand, so I don't want to push it too far with regards to my own limits than with having the traction control off. Hence why I'm a little bit reluctant to go in the same pace as I have the traction control on. The traction control in the or on the ND, in my opinion, is a little bit too intrusive because it kicks in rather abruptly, so it's not fine-tuned, or you can't fine-tune it. Obviously this is a driver's car, as they say, but BMW's MDM system or Porsche's stability management system and so on, they do allow a little bit of slip before they help you if you then have those systems on. But the traction control in the ND actually hinders you quite a bit, and I have felt on the curves going into the straight or transitions that it sometimes quite heavily cuts the throttle then. And also another thing, as I mentioned before, while running with TC, obviously the brakes are working harder than if you don't have the traction control on them, and hence then your pads, your rotors, your fluid then will get much warmer as well, compared to if you're driving the car by yourself or completely by yourself. So I just wanted to elaborate a little bit on that, and I'll have to take it as we progress. And also one step, in my opinion, which has helped was a new alignment. I will put a picture down below, or at the same time as I'm speaking now, with this current alignment and with the Advan or Yokohama A052s, or is it A052s, 215/45 tires. I feel the car became more balanced compared, I think it's mainly to do with the alignment I had, and also we did increase the ride height in the rear a little bit. We did all this last week, and that both those things, alignment and increasing the ride height, I think balanced the car out a little bit. And also these tires are fantastic, and as I mentioned earlier, they seem to like a more stiffer setup. So hopefully when we get the sway bars, which are somewhere there amongst all the junk, I think the car will even be more balanced during track days or on the street as well. So that is that, and hopefully that will give some more confidence in the feel of the car, and also give confidence for me then while we are at the track. We will see when the next time is. Maybe not any more tracking for this year, but I have one autocross session left with the MX5 club, which we will attend, and hopefully, I can't guarantee, but maybe we have the sway bars in. So that is that with regards to the discussion of the TC on or off. I just wanted to elaborate a little bit. So short conclusion, I suck, but yeah, and that's the way it is. And again, then I do highly recommend these tires. They work superbly, but I would guess they will not last that long because the rubber feels a little bit softer than compared to the Cup 2s I had on, and those I drove for around 14,000 kilometers with track days and autocross sessions. But these tires were really, really nice. That was all for today's video. If you did enjoy it, give it a big thumbs up, and do remember to subscribe for future content with the MX5 and also the sim rig. Maybe that will help us out with regards to how to control a car. Hopefully we will see, and car detailing and so on. But with that said, I'll be seeing you on the next one.